new disqualification case has been filed against ACT-CIS Representative Erwin Tulfo.
May nabanggit din tungkol sa citizenship, but then hindi ko pa alam kung gaano kalalim yung diskusyon tungkol sa issue ng citizenship, but nakasento talaga siya sa issue ng political dynasty.
The petition was filed by disbarred lawyer Berteni Kataluang Kausing and Graft-Free Philippine Foundation represented by Diosdado Villar Calonge. The petitioner said Tulfo should be disqualified from the 2025 Senate race as the lawmaker is still suffering from the 20-year disqualification caused by the moral turpitude clause in 4 counts of libel. As to the issue of citizenship, Tulfo has previously admitted to becoming a U.S. citizen in 1988 but said he regained his Filipino citizenship in 2022. Now, the first disqualification case covered not just Erwin but also his brother Ben, sister Wanda Tulfo Teo, and a number of other relatives. COMELEC Chair George Garcia said they expect the disposition of the First Division of COMELEC on this case by Monday.
Either to issue summons, mabigyan ng hindi naman due course, kung hindi okay proceed tayo, or number 2, pwede ma-dismiss ka agad outright ang petition dahil sa may maaaring makita ng mga defects doon sa naturang mga petition.
Let's have an expert weigh in on this. Joining us on the line is election lawyer, Attorney Romulo Macalintal. Good evening, Attorney. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, good evening, ladies, and good evening to all your televiewers and listeners.
What do you think of all these disqualification cases, of course, filed against a front runner? We usually see the front runner in any poll or any survey leading up to an election, suffering from the most attacks. Do you think there are grounds in any of these cases? I'm talking about the citizenship issue. There's also a political dynasty issue levied against not just Erwin Tulfo, but the entire Tulfo clan that are running. There's also the moral turpitude arising from his libel case, and supposedly this holds for 20 years. Are these all sufficient grounds, Attorney?
Well, first on the issue of political dynasty, well, I agree with the COMELEC chairman that the COMELEC may dismiss outright the said petition on the ground of political dynasty, because political dynasty cannot be an issue for disqualification as there is no law yet passed by Congress defining what political dynasty is all about. In other words, as long as there is no law disqualifying a candidate on ground political dynasty, that could not be used against the Tulfo brothers. Otherwise, a political dynasty could be an issue, then there will be a lot of disqualification cases against various candidates who are running now, with most of the relatives also running with them. The Marcoses, for instance, the Romualdeses, and other candidates with so many candidates or relatives running for different positions. Now, insofar as the citizenship issue is concerned, if that is raised, then it is not for Tulfo to prove that he is a Filipino citizen. It is for the petitioner to prove that he is not a Filipino citizen. So the burden of proof is on the petitioner to prove that Tulfo is not a natural-born Filipino citizen. The complaint filed against Tulfo before the Commission on Appointments and the decision of the CA in that particular case could not be the basis of disqualifying him, because there is no proof to show that he was disqualified or his nomination was not approved on ground that he is not a natural-born Filipino citizen. Sa madaling salita, walang evidence na nagpapatunay na hindi siya natural-born Filipino citizen. And on the issue of, what do you call this, the other one? The libel case.
Yes.
Well, the disqualification case should have been filed at least 5 days after he filed his certificate of candidacy. If that would be filed today, that would be too late for the day for the petitioners. Now, if they want to pursue that case, they have to wait until Tulfo is proclaimed as senator. And the moment he is proclaimed as senator, that will be the time to file a disqualification case against him. Not a regular disqualification before the COMELEC, but a petition for quo warranto, meaning the position is now being contested on ground of lack of qualification, and the case should be filed with the Senate Electoral Tribunal. So all of these could be dismissed by the COMELEC on ground of lack of cause of action or for having been filed out of time.
So only the citizenship issue could actually move forward amongst all these cases. But of course, as you mentioned, the burden of proof lies with the accuser.
Yes, but the issue of citizenship should have been raised long before. You know, they only have 5 or 10 days to file the petition to deny due course, at least 10 days upon the filing of the certificate of candidacy, and it has long prescribed. So at present, the citizenship issue could no longer be raised against Mr. Tulfo. But in case he wins and duly proclaimed, the petition that could be filed is a petition for quo warranto to question his qualification to sit as a senator. Now, he cannot be disqualified as a candidate anymore because the time to file the said petition has long expired.
Attorney, that's an actual rule. You can only file a petition against questioning somebody's citizenship within 10 days.
Yes, as a candidate,
Okay.
there is a period to file that is under the common rules of procedure. Now, if you fail to file the disqualification within that period, then you have to wait until such time that he is proclaimed. So, kailangan maghintay sila na ma-proclaim, then file a petition for quo warranto if there is really a disqualification ground.
What's the rationale behind that? Help us understand as lay people, Attorney Macalintal. Kasi kung isipin natin, no, within 5 to 10 days after filing of COC, that doesn't also give whoever wants to file the disqualification case a lot of time to collect evidence, etc., etc. Otherwise, they might have to have a vendetta for a long time or gathered all these evidence beforehand, right? But what's the rationale here? Help us understand.
Well, there must be a limit as to the time of the filing because the COMELEC has to make an immediate decision as to whether or not a candidate should be disqualified. Otherwise, it might run out of time. For instance, Tulfo is disqualified now. How can you erase his name from the ballot? If his name is already on the ballot, cannot be. The voters could still vote for him. And furthermore, any decision on disqualification case decided by the COMELEC is not yet final and executory. It could still be appealed to the Supreme Court. And the moment the petition is filed with the Supreme Court, then the decision of the COMELEC cannot yet be implemented.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why if you have a problem against a particular candidate, there is a specific period within which to file the same. And if they are elected, there is also a period to file the same. It's 10 days upon proclamation. If a petition is not filed against a winning candidate after his proclamation, then they lost all the privileges to file the said petition.
Okay, Attorney, just one question for me. Just wanted to get your thoughts. How do you think the public will perceive this legal challenge? Do you think it will affect the credibility and the suitability of Mr. Erwin Tulfo for office, considering na consistent, naman po siya, front-runner sa mga survey?
Palagay ko hindi na yan pakikinggan ng ating mga botante. Kasi yung mga botante naman natin, hindi nila pinapansin yung mga ganyang mga accusations. They would always say that these are only political gimmicks because if they have any evidence against him, they should have filed it earlier. And the fact that the Tulfo brothers are very popular, I don't think that will affect the votes that will be cast for them in their favor.